Sri Aurobindo Mira, open my mind, my heart, my life to your light, your love, your power. In all things may I see the divine. Sri Aurobindo Mira is my refuge. Bande Matram. Welcome all of you. The topic of this evening's discussion will be on the divine is Anandamaya. This is as quoted by Sri Aurobindo, very interesting phrase. Sri Aurobindo tries to explain the divine. That Anandamaya aspect, Sri Aurobindo tries to quote. The divine is Anandamaya. Ananda we know. So this hidden Ananda is at the root of things. So divine is everywhere. Divine is the goal. Divine is the aim. So everything for a spiritual seeker, almost divine is all we have seen. Most of the cases we have seen, we have quoted Sri Aurobindo's writings while on explaining divine. The divine alone is our object. Very small sentence, and Sri Aurobindo gives the very big definition in a very brief manner. The divine alone is our object. The divine, against the course, of course, the divine can lead, he does not drive. He can lead from the front. So anyway, the divine can lead, he does not drive, and does not come to the backside. He's from the front, he leads. For those who wish to lead the spiritual life, the divine must always come the first, everything must come secondary. So, for the spiritual seeker who are clicking to this line, who are pursuing this way, divine is all for them. It's already, we have explained in most of the topics in many versions, in many ways, of course, we have discussed. Here in the course, the divine is Anandamaya. Because why he has gotten, there is also one background. Sometimes we get confused. We get some foreign consideration as per Sri Aurobindo's quotations. Some quite foreign considerations are there, which are actually very much alliance in our thoughts, in our process, when in our thought process rather, to remove it out, to throw it out, to send it out, these contrary ideas. Sri Aurobindo has quoted, Sri Aurobindo has explained. So I want to concentrate little bit on this idea, that foreign idea, which is actually very much in alliance with our concepts. We have taken it almost as for granted, but that must not happen. Let us first put aside the quite foreign consideration. Initially, Sri Aurobindo's views. Put aside first the quite foreign consideration of what we would do if the union with the divine brought eternal joylessness, that question, eternal joylessness, that Nirananda or torture. That is the foreign idea, very much complicated, a very much contrary idea so far this yoga and yogic path is concerned. And it is with most of the sadhakas, this process, this idea continues. Such the thing does not exist still in the course. That does not exist. And to drag it only to the clouds of is only cloud the issue. So normally we are creating the cloud, that shadow, we are creating that, but actually that is not there here. That's your, then what is the truth? We will be anxious to know, we will anxious to question, and we will anxious to know from Sri Aurobindo his quite clear, crystal clear clarification on the divine. The divine is Anandamaya, and one can seek him for the Ananda he gives. Divine is Anandamaya, he gives the Ananda only. So we must seek for that Anandamaya from the Anandamaya, that is divine. So, but he has also in him many other things, not only Ananda, because he is Anandamaya, we have seen many things, of course, it is there, and one may seek him for any of them. For peace, for liberation, for knowledge, for power, for anything else of which you can feel the pull or impulse. That can be expected, that must be actually asked for. Again, I will quote what the divine Anandamaya, already we have seen, we keep explaining on that one. Bearing this Ananda, from the Anandamaya, bearing this Ananda, what else we can expect? We can expect peace, liberation, knowledge, power, and anything, whatever is required as per the sadhaka's necessity. It is quite possible for somehow to say, let me have power from the divine and do his work or his will, and I am satisfied. Even if I use the power entails suffering also. So this is the sadhaka's request. I want to his, as per his requirements here in the quoted. Let me have power from the divine and his work and or his will, and I am satisfied. Even if the use of power, that already we have asked, the power entails suffering also. If it entails suffering also, that power I need. With the power I want to carry out the divine will and to help in the divine work. That power will help me in accomplishing the divine work. That's what I need. Again, it is possible to shun bliss as a thing too tremendous or ecstatic and ask only or rather for peace or liberation for a nirvana. Because one thing must be clarified, that peace and liberation for nirvana, but nirvana is not our goal. It was a big thing for the ancient questors, but thing is that we have left far behind. This idea is there. While processing in this integral path, this nirvana, everything will come on the way. It will stand, we will cover it while we are crossing to the great goal, the distant goal. It is just coming on the way. Again, Sri Aurobindo quotes here very interestingly, one may regard the supreme not as the divine but as the one's biggest highest self and seek fulfillment of one's being in that highest self. Again, one beautiful clarification from Sri Aurobindo regarding this supreme concept. You speak of the self fulfillment. One may regard the supreme not as the divine, but one's highest self and seek fulfillment of one's being in that highest self. That is, supreme is the highest self, not divine. So he must seek the fulfillment of his being, one's being in the highest self, but one need not envisage it as the self of bliss, ecstasy, or ananda. It must not be envisaged. One may envisage it as the self of freedom, vastness, knowledge, tranquility, strength, calm, perfection. So in this way, anybody actually who is the questers who are having the higher questing bent of mind, so for that one may envisage not only the ecstasy, ananda or bliss, one may envisage it for the self of freedom, vastness, knowledge, tranquility, strength, calm, perfection. So perhaps too calm for the for a ripple of everything, so disturbing as joy to enter. So this is the thing he must go on and he must quest for. Then Sri Aurobindo, of course, so even if it is for something to be gained that one approaches the divine, it is not the fact that one can approach him or seek the union only for the sake of the ananda or nothing else. So that is a wrong concept. We have to go only seeking for the bliss and seeking for the union with the divine. That is not the idea. Many things we have to be inquired of, many things we can expect. For these are aspects of the divine nature, powers of it, states of his being. But divine himself is something absolute, something self-existence, not limited by his aspects. He is vast. He is actually limitless. So whatever is there, we are taking in within our reasoning mind. Whatever we are trying to discuss, actually divine is actually vaster, is wider, actually beyond the reachability. So divine himself is something absolute, someone self-existence, not limited by his aspects, wonderful and ineffable, not existing by them, but they are existing because of him. So he lives, who lives by none, all live by himself. That is the quotation, famous quotation from Savitri. As here also Sri Aurobindo has quoted, same as almost equivalent statement, but in different style. It has been not wonderful and ineffable, not existing by them, but they are existing because of him. So this is the great quotation Sri Aurobindo has quoted, beautiful, in a strong message he has given, strong clarification. That is a crystal clear, very wonderful clarification. as clarified by Sri Aurobindo. The only thing needed for this is the first to arrive at a point when the psychic being feels this pool of the divine in himself. Number one, psychic being feels the pool of the divine in himself. That is the first condition to arrive at that point. Second one, to arrive at the point when the mind, vital, and each thing begins to feel to that they are whatever are actually wanting or surface hunt after the ananda. What else has only excuse for the drawing the nature towards the supreme magnet. So supreme magnet, supreme is there, supreme divine, supreme is Anandamaya. Here in the quotes another format, that another term, supreme magnet. Magnet, the real work of the magnet is to pull the magnetic substance, the substance which are magnetized. So having the magnetic quality, so if it is there, like the magnet pulls the blade, the pins, they are made up of the iron. Of course, this practicality is there, they can be pulled by the magnet. Here is supreme magnet, only excuse for drawing the nature towards that supreme magnet. So this mind, life, body must be magnetic in their aspect. Magnetic, they must be magnetic attractor, touched magnetic material, so that this supreme magnet can be able to attract them. Against Sri Aurobindo quotes very interestingly. So union with the divine will bring ananda. That was a great discussion. Of course, that is a great idea in the sadhaka. Union with the divine will bring ananda. Therefore, it must be for the ananda that we seek the union. It's not true. For the attachment regarding this union with the divine for ananda is not true. It has no force. One, then what has to be done? What is the reality? One who loves a queen may know that if she returns his love, it will bring him power, position, riches, or whatever is needed, not to be for that power, position, riches that he seeks for love. So that is the attachment. For what really he is loving the way, the queen, of course, and that rejection is of course on the way. So it is the entirely he has love for the herself and could love equally if she were not a queen. He might have no hope for any return, whatever is their power, position, money, riches, etc. Yet love her, adore her, live for her, and die for her simply because she is she. For that, actually, divine is like this in the course that has happened, and men have loved women without any hope of enjoyment or result, loved steadily, passionately after the age come, and the beauty has gone. So patriots do not love their country only when she is rich, powerful, great, or what much is that gave him. Love for the country has been most ardent, passionate, absolute when the country was poor, degraded, miserable. So this is the characteristic of the patriotism. Gives them, but love, wounds, torture, imprisonment, death, everything they have suffered, they have been bore with smilingly. They have been bore it. Again, we'll skip because of this time. We'll skip little bit. The self-giving itself is a profound ananda. On this topic, self-giving itself is a profound ananda, and what it brings carries in it wake an inexpressible ananda, and it is brought by the method sooner than the latter. It is actually one or another. So a selfless self-giving is the best policy here in the course for this. Selfless self-giving is the best policy. Only one does not have this cut out this policy. Ananda is the result. Ananda is the result, and the Lord is Anandamaya. Thank you.